It's amazing. Your master degree in agricultural science, which I have used never. There was an amazing story with Prince. You know the singer, right? Sexy motherfucker, Prince. And he was already famous in the States, but not so famous in Europe. So he made, they did a tour in England, and just give them limes. And and so only 3 people turned up at his concert, 3. So the manager goes like, "Hey Prince, we shouldn't do concert." And Prince said, "Why? I mean, these people paid for the concert. Why should I go? Why should I not perform?" "But it's only 3 people." "Yeah, but they came to see me." So Prince performed an hour and a half in front of 3 people in London. So yeah, I was hoping there would be more people, but it's okay. Anyhow, what I'm going to talk to you about today is something that I encountered 4 years ago throughout an immense series of events that were not supposed to happen that morning. And so I fall in love with this, let's call it science, since it's about 4,000-5,000 years old thing. But before we do that, I would like you to do something, okay? I gave you a lime, and I'm not going to torture you, so I'm going to make myself too.
Squeeze in your eyes.
Yeah. No, this is not Mexico, man. Otherwise, I would have used something like very mentally and pull it back. So practically, it would be everything about a little. Give those 2 people lime, please. A little exercise I would like you to do. So, I would like you to take your camera and take a selfie or make a short video while you bite the lime. Okay?
When I'm buying the lime.
Well, put the lime in your mouth and bite it. Don't take a selfie of the lime, man. Take a selfie of the camera. So, like this. Now, bring the tequila. Okay, now relax your muscle of your face and take another selfie of your face. Relax muscles. And I would like you to take a selfie smiling. That's not relaxed at all, man. So why is it important? I should tell you later. Like I said, I saw my text, like how he should introduce me, and he said I'm 20 years experience in the field, which makes me 32 years old. When I started, I was 12. And throughout the whole thing, I have went through a lot of things, ups, downs, opening, closures. But I have to tell you something. I have opened more than 10 units. 9 were mine. In total, I have 15 units, and 8 of those were mine. A part of 2 units, I made like good amounts of money on them. Not massive amounts of money. I'm not Elon Musk, but I can say I was successful with them. And not only bartending, not only cocktail bars, I opened restaurants, I opened coffee shops, I opened a lot of things. Why I'm telling you this? Because at the end of the day, this is a business. We come to this show, it's amazing, we get drunk. They organize amazing events, so thank you very much for Stan to do that. But at the end of the day, we are in money-making business. Yeah, some people open a restaurant, some people open a bar because they say money is not important, or they do because they want to do. But at the end of the day, if you're not making money, sooner or later you have to close your business. If you want to be successful, I advise you to invest immense amounts of energy in psychology. It's not only for your guests, but only for your employees. Understanding each other, it means you have a better co-working situation. It means that you would be able to get your message faster through. You would be able to do a lot of things way faster. You would be able to eliminate tension in the group, in your bar. You would be able to eliminate a lot of things if you have a co-understanding. So, Faces and stories. Why? Like I said, 4 years ago, I had this immense amount of unplanned events, and I ended up meeting a gentleman from whom I started to learn something called Al-Firasa. Have you ever heard about it? Have you heard about face reading as it is? Okay, so face reading, at least a strain that I started to learn, it's coming from them. Not actually from these guys here, because I don't know any of them, but it's coming from Sufi Bedouins. Okay, if you think about Sufis started from literally nowadays Ethiopia, that part, and it went all across to the Yemen Peninsula, and Al-Firasa started with the Sufi Bedouins coming from Yemen. What they did, they started to, 6,000 years ago, there was, I don't know if it still is a law in the desert, but anyways, what they said, whoever needs help, you should help them. So he said, okay, cool. I'm be happy to help someone lost in the desert or whatever, but what if they are bad people? We don't want to help a thief. We don't want to help a killer. We don't want to have someone who is not good. So they started to observe people. They started to observe, first of all, the whole thing. For instance, they looked at someone dressed nicely, and they looked at his horse or his camel. If the camel was in bad shape, what would that tell you? That he is very self-concentrated. Okay, so it's all about me. Rest is, I don't mind. Around 4,000 years ago, they all came down to the face, nothing else. Okay? But if you dip yourself into the face reading, you would find such a knowledge in China, you would find such a knowledge ancient Greece, Romans. Europe was not developed at the time when this whole thing started, and 1,000 years later, something kicked in called religion or Catholicism. So they banned everything because they didn't want people to understand each other better. Even with the Al-Firasa, also the same thing happened around 1600. One of the sheikhs or one of the kings around that area started to ban it. So they burned all the books. They killed everyone they knew, held the knowledge, and so Al-Firasa went underground and survived even till today. So, when you look at this picture, what is people? In our terms. Customers, colleagues, people who come to your place. Would you talk the same way to every one of them? Have you ever thought about why we do talk to people the way we talk? Because I truly believe that everyone who works in the industry has a massive amount of understanding of facial expressions. Because, someone walks into your place, you know straight away how to talk to that person, you know the tone, you know the voice, the words that you have to use. So we do practice involuntarily already face reading. But the thing is, would they understand what you're saying? Or would they understand the way you want to say things? I'm sure it happened to you. It happened to me the following thing. I opened my place 15 years ago in Budapest. Hungary 15 years ago was like bloody Stone Age in the mean of modern bartending. We had a couple of good bars. Like a normal cocktail bar in Hungary, the menu was like that. If they didn't have 1,500 drinks on the list, it was not a cocktail bar. What I did, I opened my place with 30 drinks. 30, because even with 30, my partner was like, that's too small. So I wanted to do 15 at the time. They said, no, at least 30. So we opened 30 drinks. So there's nothing else. People coming in, we didn't serve pina coladas, we didn't serve Cuba Libres, we didn't serve tequila sunrises, because said, if you want this, you can go to many other bars around and you can have that. Obviously, right now, I know I was ignorant. Ignorant for the fact that money is money, and I should not have told people off when they came for the pina colada. I should have made the best pina colada ever for that person, because in that way, I would have created a loyal customer. So this person comes to me, he says, I want a Cuba Libre, tequila sunrise, and a martini. So what I did, long glass, Cuba Libre, tequila sunrise, and I made a perfect dry martini. And I gave it to this person. And he looked at it, and she goes like, what is this? Or the guy was like, what is this? I said, martini. And where is the sugar rim and where is the lemon? And I was like, uh-huh. So what happened, I thought he wants a martini. In my brain, in my bartender brain, what went down? Oh my God, 2 shitty drinks, but at least something nice. But in his brain, what went down, he wanted a martini, martini bianco, sugar rim, lemon, ice on the top, and that's it. So this is something, I'm sure it happened to all of you at that time. So if you look at the face, okay, this is actually how our face looks underneath our skin. If you don't believe me, I need a volunteer on the stage and a very sharp knife, and I can show it to you. Why I made you bite the lemons, okay? Because in our face, these muscles, in every single person living on earth, the same muscle strains are connected to the same emotional feelings, okay? Now, these muscles are moved voluntarily and involuntarily. Smiling, it's a voluntary action, right? You want to smile. So what's happening when you smile? If you can have a look at your picture when you smiled, would you like to? What's happening to your face? Your cheeks go up, right? Your cheeks go up and your eyes are starting to narrow. Your mouth is getting bigger, right? If you look at the picture when you bite the lime, that's an involuntary reaction of your muscles because your mouth experiences something sour, so it constrains your muscles. It's like mix. That was really sour, really sour. This is how we're born, at least most of us. Not as cute as this boy, but and then some people become Eddie. He's still happy and beautiful as it is. With kids, Marianne, you look sexy. Kids are natural face readers. They detect faces straight away. They look at their mom, they look at their dad, and I don't know if you're aware of, a kid can recognize his mother after 48 hours of coming to this world. So after 48 hours, a baby can recognize its mother's face already, which means that we naturally face reading. Okay, so when you say I cannot read faces, it's not true. You straight away know what's happening. But what's happening with us? After age of 3, more or less, that's when you disconnect from your mother. Till the age of 3, you don't have personality, or at least you don't think you are separate from your mother's personality or soul, let's put it that way. So at the age of 3, you separate, and at the age of 3, your face muscles start to do something like this. So let's put it you like that, and suddenly your face muscles become something like this. But what's happening, in order for the previous gentleman to become this one, it has to go to the gym and train a lot. Which means that if you dedicate, there was a picture I've taken of you like 20 years ago.
Well, I train 5 times a day and it still is.
So practically what's happening when you train your body muscles, you go to the gym, you lift weights, you run, you do whatever, you pay attention to your diet, but only a certain amount of time a day, okay? So unless you're not preparing to be a fitness champion, you do, 1 hour, 1.5 hours at the gym, and that's it. While your face, it's constantly working. So your muscles on your face, they don't go like, okay, I need time out now, so I need half an hour, let me just be, okay? No, you move your muscles all the time on your face. So if you look at this gentleman here, if you don't recognize him, I think you're not interested in the world as it is, because he's not only the most famous footballer, also the best paid footballer. If you look at his face from the moment he's born and throughout how he has developed, you can see a lot of different shapes. Okay? So what's happening to you? You form your face all the time. You form your face the way you form your thoughts, voluntarily and involuntarily. Okay? Cool. So, how does it work? You're welcome. The good part is coming right now, but it's okay. Bring me a gin tonic. How your brain works, okay? I'm sure that you've seen the brain before. If not in a good drink, the brain image. You have 2 parts, okay? Your right-hand side controls your left side, and your left side controls your right side. So they work across. The right-hand side is your emotional brain, right? So everything connected to emotions, to love, to everything happens here. On your left-hand side, it's all about physical things, physical logic, mental things. So whatever you have in your left, it appears on your right-hand side. If you put this together, then everything happening emotionally, it's connected to your mother, and everything happening logically, it's connected to your father. It doesn't mean it has to be your mother, genetical mother. It's whoever you consider a father. It's whoever you consider a mother figure or a dad figure, okay? Because, sometimes, someone is unfortunate enough to lose one of his parents, then someone she would put in that place. And if you look at your face, we can divide in 3 parts. Top parts are the thoughts, middle parts are practicality, and lower parts are earthly needs. Okay, so if you look at yourself, or if you look around, you can see here also people with different shapes. Whichever is strongest, okay, on your face, it means that part of your head, of your face, works a lot. Okay? So if you look at me, for instance, you see my forehead, it's fairly big, which means that I create a lot of things in my head. My brain works in a very particular way. I imagine everything in 3D. And when you talk to me, my brain builds the thing that you talk about, and while building, it puts in the best thing. For instance, let's say I want a chair. And my brain straight away goes like, okay, 4-legged, 1-leg, 3-legged, what chair you want? How you want to use it? So it builds in the 3D, and at the end, it just puts out. I found out a massive problem in my place, for instance, when I talk to my colleagues, because the way my brain functions, I thought that everyone's brain functions the same. So I started to tell them ideas, give them little information, to spare time, and they fail to do things. And the moment I understand how my brain works, then I had to stop and really, in order to the person I talked to, explain very slowly. And obviously someone who is like picking up information very fast, then obviously to those not, but to those who are not picking information fast, I had to talk really slowly. So if you look at these people, three different, actual people, you can see the difference on their faces, right? So you see the front one, that's a really intellectual, a lot of work in the head. Then you see the middle one, the practical zone is fairly big. And then you see the end, that the earth, lost, it's also very big. The first thing you notice when someone enters, or when someone is around, is you see the shape of their face. If you don't practice that, you're not going to be able to recognize. When my teacher said the first time, okay, listen, go out and look at people, they are insanely different. I said, yeah, but everyone looks the same. They have eyes, eyebrows, nose, mouth, ears, whatever. They look the same. But if you look at this combination, we can detect 3 types of face: the oval, the round, the rectangle, and the triangle. And combination of these, you can get different combinations. Because when you look at someone who's oval, it means that it's about mood. It's about how you perceive your current position. So someone has an oval face, it means that it can shift. It's like, think about like a ball. Okay, you push it left, it goes left. You push it right, it goes right. That's it. When you see a square or rectangle one, it means that person is really stable. If you move that person out of that current state, mood state, it takes a lot of effort to move it back in a different one. When you look at the triangle is like a baby very much, it's like swing smooth all the time. Triangle-shaped people are really bad for instance, in a workplace, because they get angry very fast, they can get jealous very fast, sad very fast, and it's 90% of these people are super egoistic, okay? Because then they say everything has to be about me. So let's talk a bit about forehead. Like I said, forehead, it's about thoughts. In your forehead, happening everything that mentally happening in your inside your brain. So you have massive forehead. It means that you are capable of working a lot in your head. For instance, if someone covers with hair his forehead, it means that person wants to hide his thoughts. Let's imagine someone walks into a bar, you start a conversation, and it's really, really difficult to start a conversation with that person because it doesn't speak, doesn't, and then you look at her or his face, and then you see that he has like a massive frou-frou. So it means don't push it. He's not going to reveal. He's not going to talk to you. He doesn't want to talk to you because the way he behaves, he's just, I'm not a talker. So you recognize that straight away, you know how to deal with the other thing. Another thing, if you look at my forehead, I have 2 big bumps here, okay, here and here. It means if you talk to me, I'm a highly imaginative person. So when you talk to me about drinks, then I can imagine a lot of things. So when you see a person coming to your base with like massive foreheads and big round, you know, on like 2 horns, literally on top of your head, it means that you can like elaborate in the sexiest, in the most amazing way, because that person would get everything that you say. Eyebrows, another thing, massive thing, okay? Because you look at someone's face and straight away you see, you know, eyebrows are there. Eyebrows, it's about how you bring your thoughts to practicality, okay? So let's put that in action. For instance, if you see someone with connecting eyebrows, it doesn't matter if the person picks his eyebrows. Usually if you go to Italy, 90% of people, they're picking their eyebrows because they don't like that it's one line. That person, it's able to see the big picture. So when you talk to a person that has massive eyebrows, it means that you have to talk in big. When you see someone with like eyebrows not connected or like fairly apart, that person, a detailed person. So for instance, to me, I don't like details. I mean, I like when I need to like them. Otherwise, I'm just not in detail, and I'm detailing. When you come to me and you offer me a drink, you tell me I'm going to do this, go on. I don't need to know how you make your daiquiri, how you make your old fashioned or whatever. It's just because I'm not interested. I want to have a good drink, and let's go. But obviously, it's not only about connecting eyebrows, but all sorts of shape. I just picked 6 of them, so we talk about like massive amount of shapes, and then we have you know, interchanging in the shape of eyebrows. You know, if you start to pay attention to people, you see that, you know, left-hand side and right-hand side, they might differ to a person. You put a piece of paper in someone's picture, and then you see the left side, it's a completely different person than the right side in terms of facial expressions. So when you see a person with a massive arched eyebrows, that person needs to be wowed. So when you talk to that person, think about, like, you know, it needs surprises, like, ta-da, like we did with the with electricity right now. And long eyebrows, idealistic. When someone has like really down eyebrows, it means that person is fairly sad because everything happens to him. It brings the facial muscle down. When you have like an arch, for instance, a gentleman here next to us, arch eyebrows, quick decisions, okay? So he takes decisions fairly fast. Am I right? Cool. When you have short eyebrows is all about muscles underneath. When someone doesn't have an eyebrow, it means that he uses the muscles a lot. So the hair doesn't grow. When someone is like a short eyebrow, at all, it means that he's very experienced, and someone has like a bushy, you know, grows everywhere, it means that they're very hesitant. So when you see a person with like a massive bushy eyebrows, don't make him, you know, come on, give me a drink. Give him time, give him, you know, space to decide. And then obviously another big thing about eyes, when we're coming down, is the color of the eye. Okay? So from light blue, from light colored eye, we go down to the very dark, deep colored. The color of your eye reflects your personality in group behavior. So lighter your eye, more individualistic you are. Darker you are, you more group behavior. Okay? If so far, when you look at this and when you think about it, do you find truth what I'm saying? Do you understand? You like, for instance, I know you for like, I don't know, 10 years now, 15 years, no, 10 more or less. Is that true that, you know, your light eyes and you're more like a,
Yeah, I'm a very weird one in the crowd.
hey?
I'm a weird one in the crowd. I'm an individual one.
No shit. Another thing that happened to me is that when you look at someone's eyes location, you know, on his face, when it's pulled back, it means that the muscles are pulling back, so that person is an introvert. When someone's eyes are bobbing out, it means that the person is extrovert. Why? Because when I'm extrovert, I want to see, I want to know, so you're pushing your eyes out, and when you holding yourself to your thoughts, then you're pulling back your eyes, so straight away you can look at someone and you can say that, okay, I can talk to this person, I can get information out of him, or I cannot talk about with this person, I won't be able to get any information out of it. Brightness of the eye. It happened to one of my staff. When I first learned about brightness in the eye, then I understood how to talk to my staff. Before, I got really angry. I screamed so much. I was a really, really shitty boss in terms of communication, because I never had patience to explain slowly and nicely to my staff. Whenever someone didn't get it for the first time, I started to scream, which is like the shittiest behavior ever, because you're not building trust, you're building fear. When you build fear, they go away and they do whatever they think they're good. So for instance, one of my staff, Julian knows him, when he started to work with me, I sent him down to the storage. He went down to the storage, sat for 15 minutes and came back without doing anything. Obviously made me even angrier. Then I found out that he went down because he didn't want to ask again, because I was angry because he didn't get it for the first time. And so this happened. So when you talk to your staff or your guest, look at the brightness in the eye. When the brightness starts to get dull, it means that the brain disconnects the visual in order to proceed the information they have. So practically, you don't want to take more information. You have to, your brain wants to, you know, get through the information it got. So the situation was like this. I'm talking to one of my staff, and then I see that, you know, it goes down his eye, and I was like, okay, what was the point from which you don't understand? And he said this one. So I went back to the point and started to explain again and again and again. So it helped me to get my message across. Obviously, you have the shape of your eye. I put this to like fairly obvious thing. When you see a woman or a man with the eye angled, it means that person is jealous. So if you have a girlfriend with an angled eye, please make sure you understand her. Don't get her wrong. She would not be ever not jealous, because jealousy, it's I want what other have, pretty much. And because you pull the muscle up here, because you want, you know, to work out in your thoughts how to get the stuff, so practically clears this. And then, you know, the inner hook of your eye goes down, your muscles are pulling down because you want the earth, and so it makes the shape. So if your girlfriend is like that, please accept the fact, or the boyfriend, whatever, it's jealous, and don't do that. On the other hand, when the person has like the outer corner down, it means that's not jealous at all. So don't fuss about that, why you're not, you know, taking care more of me, and why you're not, you know, show any sign of jealousy, which is in my case with my missus, because she was, in the beginning, she was really freaking out, like, why I'm not jealous, because I don't want to be jealous, you know. Let's go back to the smile. So the cheek muscle is one of the biggest muscle on your face. The more you smile, this muscle more develops. So if I look at this amazingly beautiful gentleman sitting in the first row, not you, Eddie, but David, you know, he has a massive cheeks. It means that he's very happy. Like, it means that he's smiling a lot. He, like, you know, learn. And when you don't do the Botox, he's Argentinian, he would never do that. So when your muscles are going down, it means that you don't have too much joy in life. This also helps a lot with us, especially when you talk to a guest. It's about the shape of your and the status of your ears. Higher your ears, more like a thought listener. Lower ears, it means you listen more to the stuff on earth. So if you have a person that really high ears, so how you detect a high ear? You either take it from the corner of the eye or the eyebrows. So if it's higher than your corner of the eyes, it means that you are listening to thoughts. So if you look at me, my ears are very high and very big, so I'm listening to a lot of things. I can talk about a lot of stuff. When your ears are really low, you have to talk to me on earthly way. So when you explain a cocktail, don't explain the theory about the cocktail if I'm an earthly listener. Explain me the flavors. Explain me what's happening when I got the drink. Explain me how it made me feel. Explain me why I would do that drink. Don't talk to me about, it came from 1944 when this and this happened, when the sidecar came around, and that's it. All right? Also, this is very noticeable when someone has like a massive ears out. It means a clumsy listener, because you practically, bring your ears in order to listen to yourself. When someone is the ears are very, close to the head, it means like a very disciplined listener. And also this is amazing, looking around the room and looking around in the bartending industry, we are very control freaked, most of us, okay? If your earlobes are attached to your head, it means that you want to control your environment. It doesn't mean that you do everything in order to do that. It means that things have to happen in a certain way. The way I want to happen. Yes. The way you want to happen. If I would like to put a message across with a person whose earlobes are attached to his head, I have to implement that thought into his behavior, into his patterns, in order for that person to feel that the things I want to make him understand, to feel his own, so he would put into his way of working, into his way of action, and then it would be easier for him to accept and to actually work the way I explain or someone explains. And when you don't have attached, it means that you're not that control freak. It means that you're like a bit loose with the controlling the stuff. Also big and small ears. When you have big ears, it means that you listen to everything, yet you not hear everything, or you don't record everything. When someone has a short ear, small ear, it means that you might have to repeat 2 or 3 times the information to that person, but certainly the moment the person gets the information, it will stack on, so it will be in his ideas. It would make his own thing. Nose is about practicality. It's everything about how you see life in practical ways. Bigger your nose, it means practicality is extremely important to you. But you see the shapes of the nose, different shapes, easy to recognize the 2 little lumps on the side of your nose. If someone has 2 little bumps there, it means that that person wants a lot of information. That person is very inquisitive. So it looks right, it looks left, give me more information. So you develop these little 2 bumps on the side. When you see the very thick, wide nose, it means that person is very aggressive. Okay? If the person has like a top width in the nose, as you remember the little kid, like kids or babies in general are very aggressive because they have to survive. Okay? So if a baby cries, it doesn't cry because he wants to cry. It means that person wants to, get a message through. So babies are very aggressive. If you see a person with a very baby face, a very baby nose, it means that person would do everything in order to get his message through or her message through, and he would act very aggressively. Higher the width in the nose, it means, emotional aggressiveness. Lower, it means actual practical aggressiveness. When you have a big bump in front of your nose, we call this also academic nose. If you go to places like we just been recently to Armenia, you have a lot of people like very big, very practical nose, very big bumps, so they're very inquisitive. Also the size, the shape, you see this gentleman, the tip of the nose is lower than the bottom of the nose. It means that person is it's dealing with the money in a very peculiar way. So it's very difficult to get money away from a person like this. If you go to the Arab world, you see a lot of people with that sort of nose. So whenever you bargain with them, it's really hard to bargain. Okay, so it's not easy to actually make your point with the money with these people. Then another interesting thing. Once again, I come back to Julian because he works with one of my colleagues, Christoph. Christoph has a very nice, big, pointy nose, and we would always have issue with money, like every time. I never paid in time. I mean, in time I paid, but sometimes I paid earlier and sometimes I paid later. So I didn't bother to go to the bar every 4th of the beginning of the month to give salary. You know, if it turned out to be Friday, then I made it Friday. If a Monday, I still made it on Friday because, you know, then when I had time. So with Christoph, we always argued about money. Why I couldn't pay on 4th? I was like, yeah, it was Monday, man. I was not in on Monday. And understanding that money was very important to him, I could have, spared a lot of arguments with him. And also when you see like a rounded nose with a flat point, it means that person manages money extremely well. So if you next time you meet your accountant and he doesn't have this sort of nose, think about why that person is your accountant. Once again here, with the bottom of the nose, if it's very wide, it means it's very lousy with the resources. So if you have a bar manager that's really wide nose, don't accept him to be tight with the budget. Don't accept him to be tight with the stock taking. Yet someone has a very narrow nose. It means that he's extremely strict with the resources. Another big thing to notice, you have a customer that has very long nose. If you look at Mr. Nixon. Politicians usually have very big nose, very long nose. It doesn't mean that they lie, okay? In our dominion, we're not talking about lying. We talk about bending the truth or recoloring the truth, okay? So it's just the way he or she wants to put truth through. So long nose, that person will go straight away and for sure he would somehow altering the truth. Then you have a broken bridge, very argumentative. Don't get with argument with a person like that. Upwards, very arrogant. Italians, they have a very nice saying for that, puzza sotto naso, which means that it stinks under your nose. So you have to have your nose upwards. And when you have the tip of the nose upward, this means that person is very quick in action. Decision making is coming down to your chin, okay? Whether we have a big chin or a small chin, it means how you take decisions, how you move forward when a decision comes through. Like for instance, you look at mine, it's fairly wide. I'm very straightforward with what I want, and I take my decision really fast. Sometimes it's not good, sometimes it's good, but at least I take decisions. And this is something very sexy that I use a lot. It's about lips. Lips is about lust. Okay, whatever you have in your lips, someone who has any experience in looking at people's faces, in face reading, then it can tell you how you lust yourself. Okay, the upper lip is all about your imagination, how you imagine everything, including food, sex, drinking, and everything that includes, earth and it. The bottom part is the action. Okay? So whenever you have someone coming to your place and you look at her or his lips, you can easily detect how the person acts. So for me, ever since I started to read this or to learn this, for me it's very difficult to look at a woman with massive lower lips. Because the middle is always about food and the two sides is about the sexuality. Another good thing to know is if you have a very creative person, you have this V shape under your nose, all right? That means that person is extremely creative, and you have like a V shape on the lower lips. It means that a sweet talker. So don't expect anything else from a sweet talker than, to talk to you into literally anything. And good thing, if you have your filter, which is like the space under your nose, big, it means you filter words. And I can see a lot of us using words in a very peculiar way. Bartenders usually have a massive filter because even though you want to say something to your customers, you're not saying it. You have to, you rethink and reorganize the words in your head in order to put the message through so that person would not be hurt. Like sometimes you want to say, enjoy your day, but you're not saying it because obviously you don't want to do that. If someone has a very short filter, don't expect anything else, but blunt, straightforward communication, you just cannot help it. Okay, so just a couple of things. Like I said in the beginning, everyone is a face reader. Okay, every one of us detects things on another's face. The thing is that we cannot interpret. But whenever you look at someone's face, please don't jump straight to assumptions. One single feature on anyone's face doesn't mean that person is that. You see someone's massive lips, straight away say, oh, that's going to be good. But you have to look at the face in total. You connect things, okay? From top to bottom, you connect, and then you work out pretty much what's happening and how it's happening. And another good thing is, it happened to me too. I started to watch people. On my phone, I have like thousands of faces. Faces are extremely, a massive variety of faces everywhere. You start to look at people's faces and suddenly you realize that it's not a singular person the same as the other one. So like I said, right now we are 8.2 billion people living on Earth. It means we are 8.2 million different opinions. It doesn't matter if I grow up with you or with you, experiencing the same things in our life, yet we can think about, we would end up, thinking or understanding a bit differently than, things. And like I said, I manage places, at least I think I manage. I do a lot of things, I take a lot of risk. And this is a quote that I like a lot. The thing is not that you set your aim high and not achieving. The problem is when you set your aim very low and you pass it. Okay? Thank you very much for your kindness. Thank you very much for listening. I hope I have... Thank you. I hope I have... giving you some information that you found interesting. I give you this little QR code because I am setting up now a web page that we would record something around like 200 videos more or less, 10 minutes videos. And I would, if you register on the web page, I would set up a lot of courses for free. At least, the ones that you can get the general knowledge about face reading. And obviously, if you want to improve your knowledge furthermore, then obviously you would be able to do that. Okay? Oh, that's it. So thank you very much for listening. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, if I can. No questions? God. There was Alex Ferguson come once to Hungary, and he did like a 5-day course. And obviously, football coaches went to his course. And at the end of the day, Ferguson said, do you have any questions? And no one asked anything. And the reporter said, I don't understand this. You either think that you're too clever to ask anything for Alex Ferguson, or you are too stupid to ask any questions. So I'm not saying I'm Alex Ferguson. I'm not saying that you're stupid or clever, whatever. I'm saying is that, whenever you have a question, always put it forward. All through these years, going to seminars, when the very first time I see David doing a course, I had many questions, but I was afraid approaching him because he's David Cordova. Okay? I'm still afraid approaching him.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Okay, so thank you very much for listening again, and let's do a gin tonic.